at halftime of Sunday's game, Steelers Hall of Honor got the chance to chant Heath again. Heath Miller honored at halftime, Myron Cope, Mathews, Sam Davis, and then Louis Lipps as well, a member of the 2021 class, all honored at halftime. Ike, take this in any direction you want to, because I know you played with Heath Miller. He was your teammate. So I'm going to give you the floor right now, and I do have one question, but the floor is yours. Heath Miller honored at halftime of Sunday's game.
So I knew nothing about Heath Miller. All I knew was he was a tight end coming from Virginia, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I had Chris Hope, Brian McFadden, and Willie Reed, he was a wide receiver for us. So we wound up drafting like 3-4 guys from Florida State. And I'm like, man, why we get this tight end from Virginia, man? This dude that good? They say he was the only one we had to look after, and he smoked corners, safeties, linebackers. They say he was the reason why they beat us or why he was in the game. I say the tight end is good. They say, look, he old school. He wore no gloves. They won't lie. They say he'll block your butt off. He won't lie. And they say he catching everything in his area code. He's not lying. They say he's just a throwback old school tight end. He just so happened to be athletic. And boy, they won't lie about getting Heath Miller. Boy, they wasn't lying at all, because that's all the young man did. Whether it was -5 or was 105, you never saw gloves on him until late in his career. And if you ask Heath Miller to block outside linebacker, chip on the D tackle, that's exactly what he was doing. Didn't say a word to nobody. All he did was smile, and that smile was nothing but a assassin kind of smile. I'm not gonna say much to you. I'm gonna drag you in the ground. I'm gonna catch touchdowns on you. Your coach, your head coach, or your position coach will be highly pissed off at you, because I am handling my business on you. So every time you check or go across a Heath Miller, Mondays ain't looking good for you and your coaching staff. Your coaching will be finding somebody else to take your position, or it will be a long week for you mentally because your coach sees you can't check me. That's exactly what Heath Miller was for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I'm so glad he was on my team.
I had to mute myself because I did not want to ruin that. That is excellent. 592 receptions, 11th among tight ends all time, a 2-time Super Bowl champion. And this was someone you saw in Latrobe before the start of this season as well, as part of your role with the Steelers. I know that you and Heath were among several players the Steelers brought back to talk to what is currently a young Steelers team ahead of the 2022 season.
Yeah, I mean, Fairmouth, he loves, and he reminds me, he's not Heath Miller yet, but he reminds me of Heath. You know, he can catch the ball. He got a high catch radius as well. And Coach T talked about Fairmouth when he was a rookie. I know he can catch. Let me see him block. And I think we talked about that on our show as well. But that's just what it is, man. The Pittsburgh Steelers, they always find a way to find a receiver that fit the mold exactly how they want a tight end to look like. And that's the Heath Miller mold. And we have a baby one in Fairmouth right now, but he set the standard. He set the standard real high. So ain't nothing but a huge shout out to Heath, man. Just a cool, humble guy. Don't say much at all. If he give you 2 sentences, boy, you Heath best friend, because Heath don't say too much at all, man. So if you can get 25 words from Heath Miller in a course of 2 minutes, boy, you best call that man your best friend, because that's how quiet he is.
Ike, is there one particular memory you remember of Heath Miller that stands out most to you?
Not really. I always got a little bit more out of Heath. I always talk to Heath, but I be talking about some off the wall stuff that we can't talk about on the podcast. So my off the wall stuff, and they be like, because I ask them an off the wall question and ask for their opinion, and they be like, "Dang, you coming to me about this?" I'm like, "Yeah, bro. What you think about this situation right here?" And they'll sit back and they'll give it to me. You know what I'm saying? So I break the ice on guys who are quiet, you know, with a unorthodox question or just an unorthodox conversation, Mark. So yeah, Heath and I, man, we always been like real cool when it came down to that.
Like, you have a unique ability to make people feel very, very comfortable.
Yeah, I guess that's one of the gifts God gave me.
Yeah.